Part of our summa culture is that we believe that we hear from God.
There's a step in which I learn that God talks to me. There's a whole nother step that says that God talks to you, and that I have the ability to accept that. And then, of course, John has the ability to speak it and share it. Welcome back to Tempus Divum. Today we're going to be talking about something that we call the journey of desire. And why I think this topic is important is one of the central verses we use around here, and kind of the way that I frame a bunch of stuff, is this one that says, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. But here's the thing, is that when we use this word heart, we introduce ourselves to a whole bunch of other conversations, one of which I know a lot of people here is this one from Jeremiah, right? The human heart is desperately wicked. Who can ever trust it? And with that in mind, there becomes sort of a subtle, sometimes not at all subtle, certainly theology and practice of dismissing our hearts, right? Like we have to get rid of it because it's full of all kinds of nasty things. It's lust and gluttony and anger and malice and blah blah blah, and all of that is clearly not good. And so there becomes a sort of practice of stuffing everything that comes out of our heart and ignoring it because like nothing good can grow there. But the first time I heard this idea of the good heart was a giant wake-up call for me. And so just to kind of give you a really quick kind of theological piece to this, yes, Jeremiah says the heart is wicked. But what Ezekiel says is that, however, what's coming in the future is that God will take your heart of stone and replace it with a heart of flesh. That will be changed. That's part of what the new covenant is. And that's exactly what Jesus says too. And what you'll see in Jesus's words is a bunch of assertions that there is, in fact, a good and noble heart, and that out of it come all kinds of great riches, and that it is, as David says, it is your heart that from which you need to guard perfectly, because it's where all of your life comes from. And so we have this idea of the heart being central, but then also that Christ renews that and restores it. And from there comes the notion of, if it's been healed, then living from it is not optional. That living from that true and restored and reborn heart becomes the source of our strength, becomes the source of our vision, of our creativity, and it becomes critical for us to understand that. Now we change from a gospel of sin management, where you just keep all the junk in as best as you can, into a gospel of letting the life of Christ come out of you, because that's where it starts. And so now it's more like from the inside out. And that's a beautiful, powerful thing. So I think this topic is important because when we deaden our hearts, it's like cutting the phone cord and then wondering why God never calls. And so living from this place of heart means we have to start listening to it and understanding what it is telling us. So from there, we're going to go off to a series of sessions. The first one is a good place to start, but there's a whole conference here that you can dig into if you're interested in it, and I would suggest you do because it's really good stuff. So with that, I'll catch you on the backside.